Hi again, guys. Okay, so a little bit about the website that I'm going to be using with you to urge you through, to support you through your learning and your experience this year in the courses for which I'm responsible. For this, strangely enough, I have to do a little bit of a history lesson because time is important as far as things like the internet are concerned. It may surprise you because you've grown up with the internet, but there was a day when it didn't exist. In fact, here's a challenge for you. Do you know who invented the HTML code which enables the websites that you all look at to register on your phone or your tablet or your laptop or your PC exactly as the author intended? Because without that, nothing would work. Do you know who invented the hyperlink? Well, you should do. Imagine this for a minute. Imagine if someone, somewhere, came up with the hyperlink idea, patented it, that in English means to, as you would say in French, to put a brevet on the idea, and that every time you clicked on a link, every single time, how many times do you do that a day? I probably do a couple of hundred. Imagine. Most of the internet users on the planet, 50 or 100 links a day, just a penny click through a link. Imagine how rich that person would be. And there is a person. There was a moment when there wasn't the concept of a hyperlink and HTML, and then there was. I'm guessing that probably 1 in 100 of you know who that person is. No, it's not me. Know who that person is, where they came from, where they had the idea, why they had the idea. Why they had the idea, well, it's actually singular because it was one person. Why he or she, I'm not giving it away, why that person had the idea that he or she would not patent the idea, that he or she would give it to the universe, to all of us who hope to communicate with one another, even if we can't see each other. So that's my first challenge. Go find out who, when, where. And before you start, don't even think of telling me, it's America, it's the American army, it's ARPANET. No, it isn't. Go and look and do your research. France is involved. A Brit is involved. A Brit who lived in the same town that myself and my wife grew up in at roughly the same time. A Brit who is not as rich as old King Croesus. So find out that, why don't you? It's important. Your world, what you accept when you click on links, when you use your electronic devices, it's grâce à lui ou elle. So try and find that out. There's a challenge for you. For me, it became a challenge in about 1992. I was shown at my university in England, Bournemouth University, along with a lot of other people, this new thing. And this new thing was a browser which was called Mosaic, the pre-runner to Netscape, before Firefox, before Microsoft Explorer, before all of them, before Google, BG, before Google. Everyone came out of that meeting, about 500 of us in that meeting, and most people were saying, oh, that's a very helpful cataloguing tool for librarians. And I walked out of there with a colleague, and we looked at each other and we both said, the world just changed, didn't it? Why aren't they seeing it? And we started working in about 1992 on developing websites for teaching and learning. Not for distance learning, but for helping people teach face-to-face. Could a backup to the face-to-face teaching help from week to week so that the students could keep in touch with each other, could work together on documents, could work with the teacher, could link to other professional documents that were available, and then the teacher could come into class, and a lot of progress had been made that could not have been made in the absence of this wonderful new tool. Well, in 1992-93, myself and my colleague Bruce Grant-Braham, we started building sites for ourselves and our students. He took a view that he wanted this as a kind of a directory approach. You would search, you would find the material you wanted. I took the view that I wanted this on a course-based approach so that students would know exactly where they were with my lectures every week and the tutorials or the seminars every week and how they would move through them. The two turned out to be very complementary ideas, but actually this was the dawn of what we now call blended learning. Now, I've been running a site which has always been called Tonyversity. Tony Jolly, University, Tonyversity. I've been running that since it went live in 1994. In 1994, all of my teaching materials were online. At the same date, I had a Dropbox where students could put their work. I had an Agora, a place where students could discuss with each other, and a place where they could meet me online if they wanted. So already that was fairly revolutionary at that point. Now, of course, it's been built into all sorts of university-wide tools and massive online learning facilities, etc. But I still have a Tonyversity. It's version 3, and I think it will see me into my retirement. But the point is, I've got a lot of material there based upon my teaching and learning since the beginning of 1988, when I started teaching on the 3rd of January for Bournemouth University, and I've been teaching here since 2004-2005 for the University of Alsace. So I now have kind of version 2 or version 3 of my website, still called Tonyversity. Why didn't I change it? I didn't change it because so many people were referring to it, because I was one of the first people to use these type of things. They were writing about it in journal articles, etc. And it became a little bit, well, not exactly famous, but people knew what it was. So I haven't actually changed it since. So there we go. So I have this site, and I believe that it can enhance learning even when we're face-to-face in the classroom. It's not a perfect learning tool at distance. I never really conceived it as being that, but it should be the type of thing where I can put materials, you can engage with them, you can go and see me on videos like this, and I will try and do what I would normally do in the salle de classe, in the classroom. And you can hopefully engage with those materials, engage with each other, relate also to me, and make progress in what you're doing. So I have this thing called Tonyversity, which is going to be the launch pad for all the materials that I will give you. Basically, it will be me sending you emails, which send you to Tonyversity, and also to somewhere that hosts my videos that I'm recording for you, like this one, which you know full well, it's YouTube. Why? Because it's free, and because it works, and because you all know it, you all have access to it, and as far as I understand, the storage for me is unlimited. So there we go. So the concept of Tonyversity is there, and I bless the day that a certain countryman of mine came up with the concept of links and HTML code so that we could have this kind of exchange. So I can link to materials, I can send you things, and I know that what I send you, you can see as I intended it. Now that's quite a big thing for a teaching revolution. So I hope, although it's perhaps not perfect, well, I know it's not perfect, I hope and I trust that it will help you to learn in the subject areas for which I'm responsible and which you have chosen. I always have email. I try to answer it as quickly as I can. So I will try also not just to send you material or to link you to material in an asynchronous mode where you choose when you're going to look at it, watch it, engage with it, download it, enjoy it maybe. That is up to you. But I will try, if I can, to come up with moments when we can actually talk together face to face, mediated, I know, through the internet and a screen, but at least we can do that and have that contact if it's needed, rather than a quick email saying, Tony, here's a question, yes or no. That's easier to do remotely by email, of course. Okay, there we go. So there you have it. That's Tonyversity and why I'm using it. And future videos will be about how you use it specifically on your course. Okay? All right, bye for now.